Unilever is expanding its use of AI image capture to improve ice cream restocking, Chris. According to consumergoods.com. Have we had consumergoods.com on this? I don't
I
know.
don't
It
think
might
so.
be
I
one
think
of
it's the
the
first
first
time. Shout
time.
out to
Okay.
consumergoods.com.
Okay. According to consumergoods.com, Unilever is equipping 350,000 freezers or 30% of its top selling ice cream cabinets in priority markets with the technology over the next 2 years. So far, it has completed installation in 100,000 freezers. The software takes photos of the inside of the freezer and automatically delivers the images to the cloud, where AI can determine the stock level and generate orders for distributors for low inventory items. Since the initial implementation in 2023, the company has seen incremental growth that ranges from 8% in Turkey to 12% in the US and up to 30% in the good old country of Denmark. Chris, this is the A&M CRG put you on the spot question too. Why
Oh,
not?
wow. I
It's about
forgot
ice
about that. We
cream.
haven't had it yet.
We
That's
haven't.
great. Okay.
A&M wants to know, Chris, from using shelf scanning robots, phones, drones, and now Unilever's freezer tech, the use cases for knowing real time on shelf availability and stock levels have been compelling. Why do you suppose that CPGs are leading this technology wave in general versus retailers? Awesome question. That's a great question.
It is a really good question, and there's a lot of good reasoning for it, honestly, and that's why I
Yeah.
freaking love this too. I think, for those listeners that may not be aware, there's many product categories, particularly in a grocery store, that the retailer controls the inventory flow for, and also categories where the CPG company controls the inventory flow for, and those are generally called direct store delivery categories or DSD categories, and ice cream is one of them. And
Also, like
so
Lay's, like, right? Like chips,
potato chips,
Pepsi.
soft
Yeah. Yeah.
drinks. Yep. 100 frozen pizza, which I was going to talk
Oh,
about in a
yeah.
second too. Yeah. So, like, this type of thing makes so much sense for those categories. And the fact that Unilever is publicly leaning into this
Mhm.
makes me think that this is proof point number one. And it's soon going to be followed on by shelf. Now, you can't do it in freezers, but you can do it with shelf cameras from like a Captana, which we've had on our
Mhm.
show before. And you can do it in those categories like you just mentioned. And so, and then also like even the freezer installations, you can do it in frozen pizza, like I was just
Yep.
alluding to, because the results already appear to be there. Unilever's not, from my memory, being the buyer of frozen food at one point in time, like 20 years ago almost. I don't believe Unilever was as deep in the frozen pizza category as it is in ice cream. It's the big leader in ice cream.
Mhm.
But the frozen pizza category companies will get on board with this and see what Unilever's talking about, and they'll start to do it too. Because the great thing about it, Ann, is, and for these categories, the retailer doesn't really have to be involved. A
Yeah.
third party service can come in, they can install the equipment, they can hook it up to the CPG's inventory planning and their sales restocking team, and they can make it all happen completely, exogenous to the retailer's operations. And therefore, the retailer and the CPG win with this. And
Yes.
whenever you can create a one where both sides win in the discussion, that's where you're going to have innovation. And so that's what's happening here. 100%. It's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, I think to go further on that, like the other thing, especially at Empower this week, we're hearing so much from the CPGs who were in attendance. Like they've had to blindly rely on retailers for so long, or like that one person going out and taking a picture of the display to like, or to the of the shelves to make sure like they're getting enough
Yeah.
space in the freezers, or that they're getting the like that the product's out on the shelf. Like they've had to kind of trust in that and rely on data that's old, lagging data that isn't consistently updated in real time. And so this is going to give the CPGs that picture to really hold the retail partners accountable, and then to help, continue to make sure that they're getting more products sold through. It sounds like it makes sense all around. It's a better, more sustainable, better opportunities for CPGs and retailers to be on the same page about what kind of products they have in their shelves, and making sure that they're meeting the agreements that they both have.
Yeah, I think the last point I would emphasize there too, and you're right about the sustainability side. Like it should, in theory, make the routing of your DSD drivers more efficient. They should be going to the right stores with the right products more often, and that should have cost efficiencies in the long run. So yeah, that's a great point.